Okay, so now we're going to talk about Microsoft Power BI case studies. Microsoft Power BI is used in nearly every industry. Organization leaders often rely on it for decision making. And I'm going to show some examples of Microsoft Power BI being used to meet the needs of various companies. So the first example is a National Energy Board safety regulator, and they use Microsoft Power Business Intelligence to make sure that information is recorded accurately and for auditing reasons. What they do is they use Microsoft Power BI to have a better visual look at their data and to ensure that any outliers are investigated and to make sure that there's no fraud being detected. Another industry you'll find Microsoft Power BI is the oil industry. There was a Canadian drilling and oil well company, and they had a problem. They wanted to spend less time extracting and correlating data and more time making decisions on the data. One of the reasons was because that the company wants to find the most and least efficient wells and then to put most of its resources in the places that would give them the most money. The problem that they were facing was that they were using multiple third-party softwares, and it was just becoming too difficult to analyze the data. So they went to a company called Imaginet, and they tried to use Microsoft Power BI to meet their needs, but they determined that the information that they were using, the amount of data, was even too much for them. So this was just an example of Microsoft Power BI not being the best solution. So what they did was they suggested a SQL Server integration service, and that included some other softwares included with the SQL database, kind of similar to what we use with Excel spreadsheets, but with SQL. They offered a lot more things to that company because the amount of data that they were using was just too much for Microsoft Power BI to handle. So even though Microsoft Power BI is a good software, it's not going to meet the needs for every company. Other industries that use Microsoft Power BI are the healthcare and advertising industries. Beth Deaconess Medical Center used to have a query time of 45 seconds due to the volume of data that it had. And after using Microsoft Power BI as well as other softwares, that time was cut down to 10 seconds. The reason for this was because they used software that worked really well together. The advertiser company Mediacom uses Microsoft Power BI to optimize its ad campaigns. What it used to do was rely on lots of different third-party software and isolated systems for business intelligence solutions. So what Microsoft Power BI did was they centralized all of that information into one place, which probably reduced the time it takes to make decisions based on data. And it also made them be able to analyze different measures that they couldn't before. One measure is the ratio of earned media to paid media, and that alone increased the productivity by 10%. So in conclusion, Microsoft Power BI is the business analytics service. It's provided by Microsoft. What it does is allows users to connect, import, shape, and transform data for business intelligence. It allows analysts to create visualizations and reports that are interactive and can help an organization make better decisions in the future.